Good morning to all of you. I'm from a very small country called Singapore. It takes a 17 hours flight to get here, and I had my reservations about coming here today, but seeing this large turnout, I'm very glad I'm here. And let me tell you something about my country and the projects we are doing with IBM. So, city of Singapore is about just 3.5 times the size of Washington, and I was born there, and I remember it was very much a third world country, but over the last 50 years, it has now become the most livable city in Asia, which is credible if you think that we're even better than Tokyo. So, if any of you are thinking of migrating to Asia, please keep Singapore in mind. Now, our biggest problem, as you can see, is space. The number of miles we have used for road network has exceeded the planning capacity. So, the only way is to go downwards, build underground, and those of you who are familiar with Boston would know that's not a very wise thing to do. So, we got together with some smart people in IBM and built a platform for using the pricing mechanism as a way of influencing public transport. Essentially, it was an open platform. WebSphere was the major building block among other IBM products. And finally, we launched the system early this year, and I'm happy to say it has brought many benefits. First, to the citizens who use public transport, they have one card which they can use for public transport, and if they want to, for the motor vehicles as well. And the pricing mechanism allows us to rapidly increase prices for use of roads and bring down congestion. And overall, it has brought savings not only to the commuter, but also to the service providers, because the system itself is cheaper to maintain. And of course, for the road users, they are able to switch to public transport quite seamlessly. Now, since this is quite topical, another interesting side benefit of this system is we are able to do contact tracing, and we have demonstrated we can do this with 99% reliability. That is, if anyone has any kind of contagious disease, we are able to trace whoever he has been with in public transport over the whole area of the network. Now, this is just an appetizer for my main talk on Thursday, and I hope you will come, and I hope to see you there. Thank you. A very good morning to all of you, and I'm happy to see so many of you staying with us till the 4th day. And I'm very happy I'm not competing with Billy Crystal. because like most techies, I don't do entertainment. However, let me show you the beautiful city of Singapore. That's a skyline, and the real thing is even prettier, and it keeps changing. Even after that photo was taken, we have put in a large observatory wheel, and by the end of this year, the skyline is going to be illuminated by not one, but 2 casinos. And we hope that will entice IBM to bring their next conference to Singapore. And for those of you who still have cash in the bank, please bring it along, because your money is safer there than here. Right. Let me go on to some hard statistics. Or before that, let me say something about myself, where I fit into the city of Singapore. I am totally responsible for the public transport revenue collection and have been on this job for the last 20 years. There is succession planning in Singapore. It's just that they haven't found anyone yet. So I'm still here. So I think I have a very fortunate position. I'm totally responsible from concept through to retirement. So the good thing is I've not that many bureaucrats in my path, but on the other hand, I can't pass the buck to anyone. Anyway, let's get on to the vital statistics. So the size of Singapore is about 285 square miles, just about 2.5 times the size of Washington DC. It has got about 5 million people, and the rides on rail is about 1.8 million, and buses is about 3. That is not to say that everybody takes public transport. In fact, 35% of our rides are done on the 900,000 private vehicles. And this does pose a problem for us, because given our limited land use, we have to reduce our demand on private cars down to about 25%, current 35%. And the second challenge we have is the cars use also are subject to congestion pricing, but use entirely different system based on proprietary smart cards, and public transport as well uses smart cards, again a proprietary system. So the two systems together have a card base of 17 million. Now that doesn't make sense for a country like Singapore, and really we decided we must bring it to one common platform. So the thrust was to make public transport the choice mode for most of our citizens. And to do that, we set out to achieve 3 objectives. The first objective was to ensure that every resident had access to public transport within 400 meters of his residence. Secondly, they are able to complete 95% of their journey within 45 minutes. And this of course means you have to reroute, optimize your bus routes and so on. And equally importantly, one common card across complete transport network, whether it's private or public. Well, like all objectives, is easier said than done. So, what were the challenges? And all IT projects, the main challenge is always people. We had to integrate the needs of our stakeholders, who are the 4 transport operators, the 2 card issuers, and 1 bank. And you can see they are quite formidable organizations in themselves. While we had to provide integration, we also had to be flexible to meet their specific needs. So immediately, I'm sure that 3-letter word comes to mind. And I think since you have heard so much of it over the last 4 days, I won't repeat it. The solution is SOA. Right.